Ladies and gentlemen, we are once again getting a reboot from an old franchise. Well, Pirates of the Caribbean has been around for just basically over 20 years. At least the film franchise has. But the ride at Disney's been around for like 60. That's besides the point. The fact is that the next Pirates of the Caribbean that comes out is going to be a freaking reboot. Jerry Bruckheimer says that the next Pirates of the Caribbean is going to be a reboot. Now, a lot of us are like, why the hell is that happening? Why do we even need it? Why even make another Pirates of the Caribbean? Why not just put it to rest? Like, a lot of franchises need to be put to rest. I just recently saw Frozen Empire, all right? Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. That has been going on for like 40 years, this whole Ghostbusters thing, from the 80s all the way up until now. They needed to put that to rest and leave it in the 80s. But now we're having a reboot for something that doesn't really need a reboot, just like a lot of things. Before we fully dive into further reasons why this film franchise, Pirates of the Caribbean, does not need a reboot, let's look at some numbers real quick. If you're not a stranger to this channel, you know that I like looking at my numbers, my box office numbers. It's just a really fun thing to look at. Pirates of the Caribbean, based off of the box office numbers, it's a successful franchise. We look at everything right here. 2 out of the 5 films have hit over $1 billion in the box office. And with the other 3 films that are right behind it, they weren't really that far off either. The first Pirates of the Caribbean made over $500 million. Instant success right there. And following up with Dead Man's Chest, which is the highest grossing one out of all of them, over $1 billion the next film. Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End fell short. It's actually my personal favorite. But then they came right back with another $1 billion movie on Stranger Tides. Now, that's my least favorite out of all them. And then Dead Man Tell No Tales ends it off with about almost 800 mil in the box office. Combining all of those numbers together, the franchise has grossed over $4.5 billion worldwide, and it is the 16th highest grossing film series of all time. It's in the top 20 for the highest grossing film series of all time. Your franchise is an absolute success. But here's what's going to make it leave a bad taste in everyone's mouth and kind of ruin its legacy. You're getting rid of the man, the myth, the fucking legend himself, Johnny Depp. We're not getting Johnny Depp, and he's not playing Jack Sparrow. All right. Do you know how big of a shoe that is to fill? All right. We've grew up with Johnny Depp playing this character. All right. I was a freaking child when the first Pirates of the Caribbean came out. All right. I think I just started elementary school. That's how old Pirates of the Caribbean is. And we grew up with this man right here playing that character. Now, I'm not just going to mention him. There's other people that have made the movie just as magical. The guy who played Captain Barbossa, I think it was Jeffrey Rush, who played Captain Barbossa. Then we have Keira Knightley, who played Elizabeth Swann. Then we have Orlando Bloom that played Will Turner. We had all those characters in there that helped the movie be what it was, which is a classic. Each movie that they were together, we knew that it was going to be a freaking banger. If you think otherwise, look at these numbers right here. Numbers don't lie. That's why I always fucking bring it up. I'm going on Twitter because, you know, that's where the honesty lies. That's where people really speak their opinion. And based off of this first tweet right here, the size of the audience interested in Pirates of the Caribbean movie without Johnny Depp, there's going to be nobody there. You can't really picture a Pirates of the Caribbean movie without Johnny Depp playing the character Captain Jack Sparrow. All right. And he's the hardest one to try and replace. Sure, it's a little bit easier to go ahead and try to find somebody to play Will Turner. It's a little bit easier to go find somebody to also play Elizabeth Swann. But where the fuck are you going to find somebody that is going to be able to take on the role of Jack Sparrow when it was already portrayed by an actor who completely frickin' nailed it? And every time you think of the character Jack Sparrow, you're going to picture Johnny Depp's face right on him. Just like when you think of Wolverine as a person, you're going to picture Hugh fucking Jackman's face. When you picture Indiana Jones, you're going to picture Harrison Ford's fucking face every single time. And to add icing on the cake right here, when you think of Anakin's fucking Skywalker, you're going to think of Hayden Christensen. The unfortunate truth behind this is that all of these actors that have played these characters are going to be replaced by other actors that are eventually going to play these characters. It's the harsh truth that we just have to deal with in our lives, because eventually Star Wars will get rebooted, and eventually there is going to be, pretty soon, another actor playing Wolverine, which I think a lot of people have already came to terms with that that's going to happen, so we're a little bit more okay with it. When you got a character like Johnny Depp, who loved playing the character, who's no longer going to be there, it's like not a lot of people are going to be too fond of you guys trying to start a movie without the main guy everyone came to see each and every movie. That's going to be pretty hard for you to try and do. So when we talked about him playing this character, when I play Captain Jack, there's rarely a time when I am not smiling. Just being him makes me smile. He can do anything, say anything, as cheeky as can be. All that in one character who is everything which I am not. Oh man, it's sad to see him go. And it's going to be sad for a lot of us to see him go.
Iger came out and they announced
Came out of the closet?
press conference. He's standing next to Johnny Depp, and they announced $500 million, no DEI, no LGBTQ. We're going back to old school Pirates of the Caribbean. What would happen to the Disney stock the next day, Tom? Tom, what would happen if they announced Johnny Depp come back? We're giving him $500 million to $500 million. We begged him to come back. He agreed to do so. We apologize for the treatment of jumping to conclusion on what happened with him with the Amber Heard case. He's one of the greatest actors of our lifetime. We want to give him and the fans the opportunity to see the next one being made with him. We don't see the brand Johnny, Pirates of the Caribbean. What would happen to the stock? I'm actually curious, Tom.
I'll tell you what would happen, because the stock market doesn't care if you're straight, gay, whatever. They only care if you're going to make money. And that would be a move that's going to bring people to the theaters and is going to make money. In the face of this horrible slate of failures, the stock would pop. That day, the stock would pop, because you know what? Money is agnostic. They don't care about your and money is culturally blind. Period. Money is blind to lifestyle. Money wants to know that money is made. That's how the stock market works. And guess what? The stock would pop because investors everywhere behind the cover of darkness, behind their computers, would be like, hey, well, I'm buying because you know what that means? That means they're going to make revenue on that movie. I can't wait.
Now, am I 100% on board with what this guy said? Not really. All right. There are some things where it's like, yeah, I can agree, but at the same time, I can't agree. If we look at the numbers, right, with Pirates of the Caribbean, On Stranger's Tides made over $1 billion in the box office, and it really wasn't that good of a film, right? You can still go back and watch it, and you can have a little fun watching it, but out of the 5 films, it's the least favorited. When you look at the last installment, which was Dead Men Tell No Tales, it takes a significant drop from making $1 billion to making just under $800 million. It's still good numbers, but there still is a big dip. I don't think that making a 6th movie with Johnny Depp would bring in $1 billion. I just don't think it would. I think people would just get tired of it. This is the thing, is that if they wanted to just end it at Dead Men Tell No Tales, leave it alone. This is what I'm trying to say. I don't want another 6th movie. I don't think a lot of people really even care to have a 6th movie, if we were being honest. The only reason people are saying, oh, it would make $1 billion in the box office is because you're now hearing that, oh, there's going to be a Pirates of the Caribbean movie without Johnny Depp. Nah, I don't want to watch it. I'm going to force you guys to bring back Johnny Depp, this, that, the third, or just don't make a Pirates of the Caribbean movie at all. That's kind of what the people are thinking right now. You either make a 6th movie with Johnny Depp, or you should just not make it at all. I'm on the side where you just don't make it at all. There are just some franchises that you just have to keep left alone. When we're talking about something like this, where the main freaking character is no longer going to be there and they're going to be recasted, it's a little bit harder for people to kind of be on board with it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave your comments down below, your honest thoughts on this whole entire thing. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you feel in between? Do you just not know? Do you want them to reboot the franchise and see if they can do something different? Do you want them to put it at an end? I need the honest thoughts from the people.